Welcome all to the hunt, and today we shall be hunting the undead, the Vaal Hazak. Today, everybody, we will be hunting and I'm going out there, I'm putting my ass out there, the most well-designed, or at least creature design, in the entirety of the 5th generation. Above Odogaron, above Nergigante, above Velkhana, above so many other elements, I think Vaal Hazak is the most well-designed monster in terms of creature design. He's the most well-designed monster in the entire 5th generation. Again, Rise hasn't come out as of this video, so of course I cannot speak for its entirety of the new monster possibly coming out of this, but I think Vaal Hazak does such a splendid job at reaching for design elements, creature design elements that just work incredibly well. First of all, he's got probably the dopest intro cutscene of them all. Second of all, he's a fucking undead dragon. Isn't that just the coolest shit ever? Third of all, he has a lot of mechanics that makes him one of the most personalized fight in the entire game. So you know how Brachydios punches slime, and he has a lot. Actually, most of the cast, well, the monster cast in this video game has a ton of personality. I just think Vaal Hazak strikes this perfect balance as to how his gimmicks and personality interfere in the fight. So first of all, his ecology is also dope as hell. If you don't know about the ecology of Vaal Hazak, I heavily recommend you go look it up just for the shits and the giggles of it, because it's genuinely just awesome to think about. Like how he sucks the effluvium and he's just having a symbiotic relationship with the effluvium in the Veil. That's just fucking sick. How you break his bloody veil of effluvium so you can make him weaker and thus altering his hit zones. It's just clever as all hell. How Elder Seals grants you the ability to break that seal in between the effluvium much more easily. It's also so sick. There's so many elements in this one I find sick. But let's get the big thing out of the way. Effluvium status is so garbage. I don't know a single person on this god-living earth that is okay with the effluvium status, or at least is not having a hell of a time and a bitch to counteract. So the best way to counteract the effluvium is by crafting a Vaal Hazak's armor. And wouldn't you know it, if it's your first time fighting a Vaal Hazak, you won't get any. His moveset is also incredibly hard to go up against, and also incredibly easy. The only reason why Vaal Hazak is in any fashion kind of hard is precisely because of his strength, the effluvium. Outside of that, Vaal Hazak is actually super easy. His moveset is incredibly well telegraphed, and as most things that we will see later on, especially in this series, is that slow monsters, or at least much more telegraphed monster, have a much easier time evading and predicting the patterns, which is why fast monsters like Rajan gives everybody a hard time, which, oh god, we'll get to that. But essentially, it's just the fact of the matter is that I think Vaal Hazak telegraph moves so incredibly slowly that it gets kind of easy. And a lot of early players, especially when they're trying to fight the Kushala or the Teostra that we saw episodes beforehand, will have a much easier time taking on Vaal Hazak first. At the same time, a lot of people that are trying to follow Vaal Hazak will fight it relatively easily, but they get bursted down because they get effluvium and immediately die to like a level 1 of the Vaal's attack. So, god, this fight's annoying to go through. If you don't have effluvium resistance, this is gonna be your hell. And in this one in particular, the Naked Challenge, no armor run, this is also kind of hell. Trying to move up against, trying to not get attacked by, and by the effluvium is incredibly hard. And let's not talk about the hardest move ever that, thank god, normal Vaal doesn't do as much as Black Veil, which we will see that later on during Master Quest. The move where he stays on his hind legs, go up and just shoots a beam of effluvium down, creating a spread of effluvium beam. That move is incredibly annoying and the hitboxes are impossible to predict. I've never been able to dodge through this entire attack without getting hit. And it's not because I'm bad at dodging, it's not because I don't have enough dodge windows, especially. Like, even if you have evade window 5 and you use an incredibly long iframes animation, so something like, say, Dual Blades Dash, which does have a higher evade opportunity than the roll. I'm not even sure if Foresight Slash can go through this entire thing on Longsword. It's incredibly annoying. And also, another thing that I don't like about Vaal Hazak, specifically about his fight, every time he wars and goes back on his forelegs, I don't know why, Vaal has the property to knock you back, which no other monster in the game, to my knowledge, does this, including Iceborne. I think he's legit the only monster that after his roar, if you're close to him, knocks you back further. And I don't know what that, I really don't know what that is. The only case where something similar to this happened is the Kushala de Aura with his Wind Aura. So if you're too close while he's roaring and he's stunning you, you'll get pushed back by the Wind Aura because that takes priority. But that's because of the gimmick. I don't know why Vaal Hazak has this property in its entirety, and that always confused the hell out of me. And it gets really annoying, especially on Black Veil, since he can damage you outside of that. But outside of that, the fight again against Vaal Hazak is relatively easy, and I'm having a much easier time here that we'll have later on. Then again, if you compare this to the Teostra fight or even the Kushala fight, it's still in the same ballpark. It's just this fight takes so long, man. This is you see what I'm doing here? He stunned me, and I got pushed back because I was on their belly. No other monster does that. And also, one other thing, this bitch has a lot of HP, like a fuck ton of HP. I think he's comparable to some, like, relatively high rank monster, maybe even a Xeno'jiiva. It's incredible how much this boy can tank. Like, I'm still impressed by that. I've never had a Black Veil Vaal Hazak fight, which by the way is the Master Rank version. I haven't fought a ton of normal Vaal Hazak because he's only a high rank, unfortunately. He hasn't been transferred to Master Rank, which is a crying shame, but then again, there's this Master Rank version of it. But yeah, I've never had a Black Veil Vaal Hazak fight that has taken less than 10 minutes, even with like full gear and trying to fight him relatively like aggressive, because this bitch has so much health. Also, I do have some problems with some of the hit zones, hitboxes on this guy, but overall, I can't be too bad at this. Again, I genuinely think he has the best creature design in the entire 5th generation of Monster Hunter. The color scheme, the look, the claws, the second mouth, the skin dripping off of his bones, which he literally just Radabans hit. He literally just wraps himself in the flesh of the Veil just so he can have like a basic layer of protection. It's so incredible. I think he's done very, very well, and I love Vaal for this, but this fight can be controversial at least. Alright guys, we'll see you all on another hunt